Hi, folks. Welcome back to Quest for Glory 5. I'm Alec, and let's get started. So, we ended last episode with a kind of a funny bug with all the snoring. That didn't go away until I actually exited the game. So, kind of funny. It pursued me into the main menu. Pretty good. Um, I got a comment on the first video that the voices were a little too quiet. So, just let me know if there's any improvement. I did some mixing adjustments. Happy to adjust more if things aren't coming through clearly. I'm mainly worried that the sound effects or music might be too loud if I turn those things up, but there actually is a way to change the mixing inside of here, so we can do that if need be. So please just let me know. All right, back to what we were doing. So we looked at all this stuff on this side, but we didn't look at the rest. It's a dolphin-free tuna. It was caught on porpoise. I feel like I should pause there to let that one sink in. It's a tippy new and antlers too. The Simbani say people who live in grass houses shouldn't stow thrones. Oh my god. Oh no, Pumbaa. Nice little quote to Lion King. These swords are so dull they are more likely to bore you than to bore a hole in you. This is the Minotaur chair. In the Minotaur dining set, Minotaur china cabinet, and Minotaur love set are on layaway. Okay, so there's other things in that set. You cod swear this fish just winked at you. It must be either a flirting finny or a kissing gourami. These are really bad. If you are not mistaken, this is the rare moose fish. Remember, no moose is good moose. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think in the last episode I said something about the Coles putting their narration kind of on hold, and they did not do that for the Adventurers Guild. They went all in. Legend says only virgins can see unicorns. You pretend you can't see it. So see, there is actually verification that Conrad has not had sex. He's just a virgin, I guess. He's had romance appear in previous games, but he's a young man, still inexperienced in the ways of love. All right, yikes! For a moment, you thought you accidentally entered the Lawyers Guild because it's a shark. That's what that is. Just for the halibut, you yell. He's hard of herring. Hey, that's the way the cods fall. I'm looking at all of them, guys. It was the beast of times. It was the worst of rhymes. That's a tough way to make a buck. All right. It's Mickey's mantle. It looks much as you imagined it would. What? I guess that's just a stock phrase. The fireplace is hot. There's no fuel like an old fuel, I would say. This zebra obviously didn't hide before, for it's hide now. Just a quick comment on the time. I actually feel like this is a little fast. You mean to tell me that Conrad just spent an hour looking at all the trophies on the wall? I mean, it is something that he would do, but... Can I look at this little... What is this called? This part of the wall. Paint? A border? I don't know. Okay, let's talk to him then. This Minotaur is very familiar to you. It's Toro from Spielberg. He looks like he's a lot tougher than the first time you met. So if you don't remember Toro, he was the Minotaur who was patrolling outside the brigand camp. And we fought him, actually, as a fighter. So hopefully he doesn't recognize us, and if he does, hopefully he forgives us. He's actually wearing the same outfit from whenever that game was, so yeah.
Good see hero man. Good hero man here. Toro like hero man.
Okay, I guess he likes us. He forgives us.
Good see hero man.
And I guess Minotaurs aren't very smart because he doesn't have a full grasp of the English language. He's just skipping a few words. Which, maybe that is more efficient.
Like Silmaria, feel like home. Like guild, important job. Miss Elsa, want Elsa be here more. Glad see you. Good place talk adventure. Good place make body strong. Good place learn things. Good place.
So he said something in the previous topic about Elsa not being around very much. So I don't know where Elsa is, but I guess she is in town somewhere. not just in a painting in my room.
Toro come here. Guild guy ask Toro if adventurer. Toro say yes. Guild guy say Toro, Guildmaster. Guild guy go, Toro stay. Toro, Guildmaster.
I love that. He just left. He just didn't want his job anymore, the old guildmaster. Or maybe he's sleeping upstairs with all the fishermen.
Come here with Elsa. No like man Elsa with. Stay here in Silmaria.
Ooh, Elsa. Maybe Elsa has a partner, has a boyfriend. Conrad, I think, kind of... Is Conrad interested in Elsa? I don't know if Conrad's interested in Elsa, but he's interested in at least meeting up with her. Because, you know, it's a throwback.
Elsa good. Elsa hero. Make brigands leave Spielberg. Fight brother all time. Brother dumb, but brother boss. Dumb boss, bad boss. Elsa leave Spielberg. Elsa come here be boss. Elsa good boss.
Alright, so she actually drove the brigands out of the land and then got into some kind of fight or argument, or just was bickering with Barnard, who was, yeah, he was an ass, for sure. So I guess she came here to see if she could claim her own throne, because she's not the heir, I guess, to the barony. So who's this man?
Man got money. Man got big house. Man got big boat. Man got Elsa. No like man.
Alright, so some rich guy. Some patron, maybe. Okay.
Hope see hero man later. You good man.
I'm a good man, Conrad says to himself. Yeah, I am a good man. Yeah. Alright, well, so where are we going to go today? We're still exploring. Just by the way, I don't think I mentioned this. The No Man's Land Inn thing, that completely went over my head. In my last video, I didn't even acknowledge that as a joke. The smell of dead fish from inside gives you vertigo. You'd have to be psycho to live there. I watched both of these movies recently. I've been watching through the top 100 American Film Institute movies in order. I've been going from best to worst, and both Vertigo and Psycho are on that list. I'm going best to worst just in case I die. You know? Just in case. Alright. This is a ruined section of the old town wall. Once Silmaria was a mighty fortress overlooking the sea. Not anymore. Is this another fisherman? Just a native. Okay, so we got a boat here? Of some kind? This sailing ship looks like something that could be used to cruise the Med, or go fishing. You start to read the palm, hoping to learn something important about the future. Oh, wait, this isn't the kind of palm one reads, is it? Nope. No, it's not. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is not what I meant to do. And you don't know how to swim, Conrad. Get up that ladder, but it's... Oh, shit. You can actually hear the music kind of getting worse there. I don't even see swimming on here. I'm amazed he survived that. So something good to know. We can jump off the pier. I'm just gonna save my game because that felt risky to me. Don't go swimming. Okay. So we got some boxes. Crate. Just crate. Wouldn't you know it? Check the crate, obviously. Rummage around in the crate but find nothing of value. But in the second one, same thing. The palm looks fondly over the Dead Parrot Inn. Dead Parrot. This sign reveals that the building is called the Dead Parrot Inn. Didn't we have an inn in Razier called the Blue Parrot? Something like that? Kind of reminds me of that. Past a gap in the window curtain, you see, hey, what are you, a peeping Tom? This door leads to an upstairs room of the Dead Parrot Inn. The brisk sea wind flings the cold sea spray into your face. The air is filled with the subtle aroma of dead fish. You've found the docks of Silmaria. Well, let's go in here. This is another hotel, I think. Oh. The door is well constructed. The ornate carved wood reminds you of some of the doors you saw in Shapir. The lock is a simple keyhole, and there is no discernible trap. Just knock. No one responds. Everyone must have passed out or gone to bed. Just listen at the door. You hear only the reverberation of the surf upon the rocks. So it's 1 o'clock now. Maybe it only opens later in the day. Hard to know. I hear the sound of, yeah, a weaponsmith of some kind. So Conrad's obviously attracted to this, and we get a little close-up, too. This is the smithy where weapons, shields, and helms are manufactured in Silmaria. This guy. The Centaur Weaponsmith looks like a veteran of many battles. He has muscles on top of muscles. I think Conrad's a little... not intimidated, but sort of, like, competitive with this guy.
Yeah. Welcome to sunny Silmaria. What do you want?
This guy's giving off big Isser vibes. What was it? Was that his name from Quest for Glory 2? That Smith? Just a jackass.
I'm Pholus, weaponsmith and weapon seller. You need a good weapon, you go see me. You got a spare weapon you want to get rid of? I may decide to buy it. If it's about weapons, I'm the person you want to deal with.
Wow, he sounds so angry. Maybe he's channeling all that rage into just making things, which is a good use of all that energy.
You want to see my weapons? Show me you've got the cash, and I'll show you my stuff. There's a strong warrior in town who calls himself Magnum Opus. He knows how to use real weapons. There's also a big, ugly guy that hangs around with the scientists. I don't see that he's got any weapons, but I hate to mess with the size of those fists. Then there's a woman. I can't believe a woman thinks she can become king here. Kings are men, not dames. She'll learn her lesson soon enough. If you play in the big leagues, you've got to be tough.
Okay, so I think he's actually just listed the competitors. My competitors in the Rights of Rulership, should I decide to do that. So we have Elsa, I think, right? We have some huge man who hangs out with scientists. Then we have Magnum Opus, and what I was going to say there is that I think there are a lot of jokes that just didn't register for me as a kid. No Man's Land Inn, for sure, was one. I don't think I got that. And I don't think I understood Magnum Opus. I did take Latin, so maybe eventually I got that, but it's pretty funny. Alright, cool. So those are the people who are new to Silmaria and possibly competing with me for the throne.
The rights of rulership are not for wimps. They prove who is the finest man suited to become the king. You've got to be tough to be the king of Silmaria. Brains and brawn. The best combination for the true warrior.
Well, let me tell you about how good of a warrior I am. I actually do have brawn and brains. Take a look at my intelligence stat.
You're a hero? Wouldn't know it to look at you. You'll have a chance to prove it around here. Just enter the rights of rulership, and we'll see who's a hero.
Okay, yeah, well, maybe I will.
You know where to look if you're looking for weapons.
I actually do want to talk to you about that. So he has all kinds of things here. A dagger, a spear. I mean, we already have a paladin sword, so I don't know. Damage 35. I can't probably compare it, can I? Edge sharpened by magic. I remember buying this as a fighter when I was younger. But I don't know if it's better than the... 1 second. I want to see how much damage this does. 40 damage, and it weighs 400 Qs. Let's see. Wait, sorry. 40 damage. Okay. So, that's actually... I don't even remember if I looked at the stats as a kid. Because not only does this weigh more, it also does less damage than my paladin sword, so I don't know that I want that, right? This part I like, right? Like, this already is more interesting than what I could buy in Quest for Glory 4. Like, you couldn't upgrade anything. Do I want a helm? Probably, right? 150 dinars? Or drachmas? They're not dinars. And my shield. What? Armor class 10. Wow. Okay, so I already have, like, really good gear. So I don't need that, and I don't need this. Well, I may need the helm. Okay, cool. Why can I buy arrows if there's no bow? I don't need a dagger either. The only thing I'm really interested in buying is the helm. And I actually don't know how much money I have because it says 622 here. But in here, I only have 122. So I kind of want to roleplay that I only have 122. Like, this is how much I started with. I might have more accidentally because of some import glitch. But I want to roleplay that I don't actually have that much money. So if it's more than 122, I can't afford it for now. Because I wanted to talk about this actually. Did I sell this? No. I wanted to talk about this, like... I like the idea very much of starting out and you just being told you need to make this much money in order to progress the plot, because it's actually kind of open-ended. There's, I assume, a lot of different ways of making money. So it's cool, because now it's up to me to decide how I actually want to do that. Here, I better just pause this. In Baldur's Gate 2, which I have not finished, but I will probably play at some point on this channel, that game starts as well with you needing to raise a sum of money. It actually came, well, no, BG1 came out around the same time as this game. And yeah, then you spend like most of the opening part of Baldur's Gate 2 looking for ways to raise cash, and you can do that in any way you want. Like, you can go commit crime, you can go slay monsters, you can do quests. Like, there's a lot of different ways to receive money. Anyway, I just like this, and that's why I'm leaning into it. An old brick chimney rises above the weapon maker's forge. It takes a lot of heat to make a fine weapon. Alright. You wonder why the doors of this building look like something you'd see on a barn. Then you realize that the weaponer is a centaur, and it all makes sense. What is this, rocks? Obviously I'm going to pick these up. Can I pick these up? They look like I can. Oh, I can. You picked up the rocks. Let's pick up loads of these. You never know when you need rocks. I think in each... well, in most of the games... we've needed to throw something, right? Let's see what else we got. The rocks along the cliff look totally igneous. Are there two heads to this bush? And it looks so presidential. Maybe it's a Georgia bush. Boy. Slimy with seaweed and salty water, these stones struggle to survive the surf and sand. Amazing alliteration. What's this small building here? The address says 12345 Eris Way. That sounds familiar. You have found the entrance to the famous Adventurers Correspondence School. Why, it's your alma mater. So remember, Conrad became a hero by, like, through mail, essentially, and this is it. The door does not look like anyone has used it for some time. Let's take a look. Music in here. Really good. This room has the smell of dust and musty books. It is so cluttered that there is hardly room to walk. From the layer of dust you can scuff on the floor, you gather that no one but you has come through the entrance in some time. The bulletin board is covered with notes and announcements tacked to a corkboard. Checking out the items on the board, you see an announcement for last year's E4 Expert Existential Explorers Expedition. The convention had Professor Grant Gottfield's famous lecture on future field trips to Fricana and South Fricana safaris with Henk Mallon. Fricana was the continent for Questor Glory 3. I think we're going to find a lot of good nostalgia juice in here. The coat rack is bare of hats and cloaks. Unfortunately, you don't have a hat to hang here. Alright, I'm going to try and look at everything first before I click on anything. This small chair is remarkably free from a pile of books. It's the wheel from a clipper ship. These books look like travel guides. The plaque under the schooner reads, The Gypsy King and Captain P. Tro. This neat shelf has a variety of travel books and a model of a ship. This looks like a book about the mythology of Silmaria. This is an empty box. This box is filled with how to be a hero handbooks. This short stack of books is ready to stack in the empty box nearby for shipment elsewhere. This bookshelf is a mess of papers and half-finished books that were started and never finished, or at least never published. This globe is a map of the world of Gloriana. That's the planet we're on. The books on this shelf are packed like sardines. This must be where to look if you're fishing for information. The frenetic fish swims swiftly round the tiny tank. I bet his name is Ermin, as in, this is my fish. Don't know what that is referencing, but this stack of books is higher than the bookshelf beside it. Okay. These books are very dusty and yellowed with age. I think I'm going to have to actually click on these and get closer to them. Oh, there's a guy in here. Remember this guy. Okay. Well, let's talk to him first and then maybe go rummaging through the books. Because it's rude otherwise, right? This small oil lamp illuminates the top of the desk. You see a weary old man who looks very, very bored.
What? Oh, what are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
His name is just F.A. Fa. Famous adventurer.
Name? What's a name, boy? I've been called a lot of things in my time. You can call me famous adventurer. That's mostly what I'm known as now.
Okay, so he can't even remember his name.
New in town, huh? I was going to write a travel book about Silmaria sometime. Maybe I did. Just can't remember. Anyway, go see for yourself. Only way to learn. This is the famous Adventurers Correspondence School. You think this was the library of Silmaria?
I do not. Okay, tell this guy that we graduated from his school.
So you're a graduate of this school. I didn't think anyone ever read the crap I write. Got some advice for you, kid. Don't grow old. It ain't worth it.
It's kind of sad, right? This guy. Through this window, you have a fine view of the city wall. Alright. You see a wide variety of books, but most of them seem to be how to swim manuals. Interesting. Well, we just nearly died doing that. Borrow a swim manual. Let's do that. The famous adventurer nods permission for you to borrow the swimming manual. The Handbook of How to Swim is a good way to learn how to swim. There's an entire section devoted to underwater combat. Okay, yeah. After considerable study, you realize that you now have a basic idea of how to swim. Okay. We got 100, so we might need to practice that, but, cool. What else can we do? Oops, I've already picked up a copy of this book. Oh, we already... Whoops, I skipped past a few things there then. As you glance through the writings, you see instructions for building a balloon. The narrator intones, having purchased a quantity of cloth, I had my housekeeper sew the material into the shape of a pomegranate. The writer further speaks, I managed to procure the sticky sap of a tree that had been burned for a long time. This made an excellent formula for wind-proofing the balloon material. The text goes on. I attached this balloon to a large basket by means of a rope. A metal brazier filled with coals provided the hot air to fill the balloon bag, causing the balloon to rise into the air. Where's my journal? This sounds like a shopping list to me, guys. So I'm just going to write this down. Balloon, right? And what do we need for the balloon? We need canvas, sap from a tree that it has been burned or something. Sap from burned tree. Then a basket and a brazier. Okay, and then anything else. Near the end of the book, you read, "Unfortunately, the nature of a balloon is to float wherever the wind will blow it. The next time I decide to travel in this manner, I will attach wings to the basket and thus control my passage." Okay. Well, that's interesting. That is definitely something. The end. Psst. Okay, so cloth. Cool. Well, so far, interesting stuff in here. Glancing through the book, you see many myths and legends of this land. The book looks fascinating. Okay. One story tells how Hercules defeated the monstrous Hydra with the help of his nephew Iolaus, who burned the Hydra's heads as Hercules chopped them off. Another story relates how Hercules went into the depths of Hades to rescue his friend's wife from the dead. One tale is of Daedalus, who made wings by placing wax and feathers on a wooded framework. He and his son Icarus used them to fly away from Merete. However, Icarus flew too close to the sun, thus melting the wings and plunging to his death. Yeah, these are all real ones. One story tells of how the winged horse Pegasus sprang from Medusa's blood, spilled when Perseus cut off the Gorgon's head. Remember, we need wings, feathers of Pegasus for one of the quests. That was in the Adventurers Guild. You come to the end of the book. All in all, the myths of this region are fascinating and well worth reading. Alright. You feel around in the empty box for a while. Eventually, you discover there's nothing in it. Oh, you knew that. How about this pile? This one? No, I think that might be it. This on top. No. Fish? It is too far away for you to reach. I can't get over there? I guess I'm blocked by books. Browsing through the books, you see one about local legends of Merete. One legend tells of a man who returned to his fishing village after visiting a local tavern, only to find his wife and family murdered. He died of grief, and his ghost haunts the taverns and inns of Merete. Well, that's kind of creepy. A local legend tells of how Perseus slew the Gorgon Medusa, and from her blood arose a winged horse. Pegasus now flies the skies of Merete on the northern part of the island. Okay, so I wrote down north. Another legend tells how it is always good luck to put a coin in a fountain. Okay. You come to the end of the book and wonder if any of this information will be useful. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, anything in these shelves? Don't squidge yourself. There's a lot to see here, and you could learn something if you know where to hook. Which I guess I don't. Alright, I think that's all we can do in here. Did we click on these? You see the familiar books, Field Guide to Fracana and Scenic Shapir on less than 5 dinars a day. There's also a copy of Elephants in Mordavia, an endangered species. Very good. You also see every back issue of Hero, the Journal of General Job Adjusting, including the hard-to-find issue 1. You see a yellowed piece of paper tucked into issue 1. It's an unfinished love letter to someone named Boopsy. How sad it was never mailed. The letter is obviously private, so you return it to the shelf. Okay, anything on the ship? That ship is a little small for you to take sailing. Okay. You read the first limerick. An arrogant man from Merete declared he would not face defeat. When he met with a foe who could make him eat crow, he would thus beat a quite fleet retreat. A musical maid from Merete was delicate, dainty, and neat. When she played with the band, she had drums at each hand, and she tooted a flute with her feet. This mademoiselle in Merete did everything quickly and fleet, For her tutor did say, when learning to play, if you blow on the flute, ah, tout sweet. A handsome young hero from Greece, when in search of the fabulous fleece, got help from Medea, not the brightest idea. Now he can't get a moment of peace. That's about Jason and the Argonauts. There once was a maid from Merite who was pretty and pert and petite. When she played with a man, she had whips in each hand and spurs on the boots on her feet. Oi. I'm sorry to say, my dear friend, there is nothing left here but the end. Okay. Here we have another one. Hero's Guide to Sightseeing in Silmaria. They're all copies. Well, I wanted to click one though. The wheel is secured to the wall. It must not be your turn. What? Well, I guess I can't pick that up. As you start to sit on the chair, you quickly realize why there aren't any books on it. It wouldn't hold their weight, let alone yours. You decide not to sit. Okay, so I think that's that for this area. And it's already starting... Sun is already starting to go down. So there is something over here through this gate. But I'm not going to go through there yet. Since it's starting to be... Yeah, he's closed up shop. Weapon shop looks closed for the night. So I'm wondering if we can go into this... Oh, interesting. Who's this? This person looks tough, but stupid. Alright.
Dead Parrot is open.
I guess it's open. Let's head in. Interesting. This huge room is rather elegant, and obviously designed to accommodate the many tourists who fled the island like rats deserting a ship. What should have been a bustling place is now almost empty. We have another guard who looks just like a reskin of the guy outside, but this is very much reminding me of Shapir. The huge man ignores you. This person is probably the brother of the guard who stands outside the Dead Parrot Inn. So let's just explore. Who's this guy? Looks like he's here to relax after a hard day. This place either believes in recycling or is just cheap. The table is made from an empty barrel. Can you sit down? Guess not. What are you doing? Alright, he can't do much. There's some stairs going off this way, so let's check it out. Who's this? Who are these guys? This short man with a shifty look is familiar to you. The last time you saw him, he was being dragged away by the guards of Razir. He is Ugarte, the seller of information. So not only is it reminding us of Razir and Shapir, this guy is actually from Quest for Glory 2. So he was the water seller of information, but also like... It's interesting, he does appear in Quest for Glory 4 as well. But we didn't get to see him because we're not a thief. Who's this? This overweight man looks very familiar. You dealt with him before in the city of Razir. He is Signor Ferrari, a most suspicious gentleman. Wow. Okay, well, who are we going to talk to first? Clearly this guy.
Greetings. I am Signor Ferrari, and this is my associate Ugarte. I believe we've had the pleasure of meeting you some time ago in distant Razir. You've made quite a name for yourself, haven't you? It'll be interesting to see what you can do for Silmaria. Rumor has it that you could be her next king. I am the owner of this Dead Parrot Inn. I'm a man of vast influence, and I'm certain we should get to know each other better. It is always a pleasure to meet old friends in new places, is it not?
Well, I don't know about this guy. He turned me into, what was his name? Kaveen. So we're not necessarily on great terms with Ferrari.
I was forced to leave Razir not long after you did. When the Sultan of Shapir took the city over, he did not approve of the way I did business. The Dead Parrot Inn is an oasis in this dreary little kingdom. It is a place to relax, refresh yourself from your busy day. If you are skilled, you can earn some money at the Wheel of Fortune. If you are lucky, You can make some real money betting on the combat held each night at the arena. If you are very, very skilled, you can make even more money by fighting in the arena and backing your winnings with a few well-placed bets. All in all, you'll find plenty to amuse yourself here at the Dead Parrot.
Okay, interesting stuff. So lots of different ways to make money. Wheel of Fortune sounds interesting, I guess. That's a game of chance though, and we would probably prefer to fight in the Colosseum, right?
Silmaria reminds me of Rasir when Adavis first took over. The warning signs are there that things will get worse here before they get better. How fortunate for Silmaria that you are here.
He doesn't sound that sincere, does he?
Ugarte has his uses.
I am a businessman, and I've always had my sources for information. If you need to know something, I'm certain I can find out what you want to know, for a modest fee, of course.
What a voice, right? I did my best to try and impersonate him there.
It is good to see you again. I'm quite certain that we'll be seeing more of one another in the future.
All right, very good. So let's talk to Ugarte.
It is good to see you again. We parted the last time under most unfortunate circumstances. I was afraid I would not see you or anything else again. Fortunately, I got lucky. I am doing rather well for myself here in Silmaria. There are many things which I know that others want to know as well. Silmaria has her little secrets, and I make a point of finding them. This island is not the pretty little resort it seems to be. There are many dangers for the unwary here. You wish to know rumors? I make a living from selling rumors. However, since we are such old friends, I will be happy to share a little of my knowledge with you. There is talk that there will soon be an invasion of this island. Already, many people have left. I will be happy to provide letters of transit should you care to leave here too.
Nice little reference to Casablanca, I believe, right? Because he's based on a character from that movie. All right.
Farewell, my friend. If you have any need of my services in the future, you can usually find me here at the inn.
So that's good to know. He is here. Yeah, this place is kind of unsavory, isn't it? Difficult to know. This one-armed man has the weathered, tanned skin of a sailor who has spent many a year at sea. Well, you know what? I think we're gonna leave it there for tonight, and we'll explore. There's more people to talk to here. So, but I think that'll be time for today. Okay, so we're at the Dead Parrot Inn, slowly making our way through all of Silmaria. I didn't think this was going to take me so many days, but I guess it makes sense. Dead Parrot Inn. Okay. Alright, folks. Well, happy Friday, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.